Okay, so here we go. We're going to do mixed numbers. Multiplication. Step 1. Turn the mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we're going to take this number, multiply it by this number. So it's going to be 1 times 3 plus 1. So it's like this little arrow here. Right? It's going to go here, and it's going to go here. Right? 1 times 3 plus 1. Okay. Plus 1. Now it's all over the same denominator. So it's all over 3. Okay, bring this straight down. It's all about lining everything up. It's a real important key. So do the same thing here. 2 times 5 plus this 2 here. So we're going to go around. So we're going to go here. And then here. So it's going to be 2 times 5 and then plus 2. So bring this straight down. Now I recommend that you write this stuff out, these little times and pluses and little arrows, until you get really good. And then you won't have to do it at all. You can do it in your head. But when you're first learning this stuff, don't be shy. Write stuff down, over communicate on paper, not only for yourself, but also obviously for the educator, if this is for a class, etc. It's helpful for on multiple fronts. So 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 4 over 3 times 2 times 5 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 over 5. What's the next step? The next step is kind of cool. I didn't learn this, I don't think I learned this super young. I think I learned it eventually. But it's very helpful. So when you're multiplying fractions, obviously numerator times numerator, it's going to get a pretty decent sized number. 3 times 5 is 15, decent sized number. You're probably going to have to simplify that, right? For what you could do is cross cancel. So that's our next step. I don't remember how old I was when I learned how to cross cancel, but it's very helpful when you're multiplying fractions. If you're dividing them, obviously you have to move to multiplication anyway, so it becomes a multiplication problem. So when you're multiplying fractions, cross canceling is helpful. So what goes into 3 and 12 evenly? It's 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Let's circle these, circle the numbers that we're going to use. Circling isn't always necessary, but sometimes it can be helpful to make things look easier to read. So 4 times 4. Because the key, one of the big keys is to ignore information, right? So if you have all these numbers right now, you don't cross anything out, you don't circle anything, it's just kind of hard to read. So 4 times 4 is 16. 1 times 5 is 5. So it's 16 over 5. Obviously, the instructions should be clear. Should they say, please make sure your answer is in mixed number form? Obviously, we're going to change this. Should the answer, or should the question, or the instructions rather, say, make sure your answer is in simplified form? Well, this is simplified. Right, 16 over 5 is simplified. However, if we wanted to put it in mixed number form, we normally want to keep it improper because you can use that value much easier if you're going to take and go do some more math computations with it. But if the instructions of this section of problems requests or asks you to make sure your answer is in mixed number form, then we would just divide 16 by 5. And so what we got here, we got 3. Right, 3 times 5 is 15. That 5 over there looks a little bit like Freddy Krueger's claws. So 3, remainder 1, which is 3 and 1 over 5. 3 and 1/5. So hopefully this is helpful.